Samanta Chakravalesu Atra Gachantu Devata Saddhammang Munirajas Sunantu Saggamukhadang Dhamma Savana Kalu Ayang Badanta Dhamma Savana Kalu Ayang Badanta Dhamma Savana Kalu Ayang Badanta Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Katamaca sa bhikkhave majjhima patipada tathagatena abhisambuddha Chakku karani jnana karani upasamaya abhinyaya sambodhaya nibbanaya sangvattati ayameva aryo attangiko maggo Seyatidang samma ditti samma sankappo samma vaca samma kammantu samma ajivo samma vayamo samma sati samma samadhi Ayang sa bhikkhave majjhima patipada tathagatena abhisambuddha chakku karani jnana karani upasamaya abhinyaya sambodhaya nibbanaya sangvattati. Good morning, everyone. As you already know, today we are celebrating the Esala full moon day. Some of you have observed 8 precepts, and some of you have observed 10 precepts, and you have decided to live a wholesome life on a full moon day like today. It's a wonderful decision that you made in your life, because as we know, being able to follow the teachings of the Buddha is something that does not happen everywhere. Dhamma, listening to Dhamma, and the cultivation of Dhamma is so rare in this world, even in a time where the Buddha's teaching is still available for us. If anyone get exposed to the Dhamma, those people are the owners of the most wonderful treasures of this whole universe. And what is the significance of the Esala full moon day? After many kalpas, for the first time, the treasure of Dharma was revealed to the world on a day like Esala full moon day. Any being born in this universe, human or non-human. Non-human includes Brahmas, Devas, and all other animals and hell beings and pretas and all those beings are. There are millions and millions and millions of beings in the world. But if they don't have the treasure, the ultimate treasure, if they don't own the ultimate treasure, if we are not being able to utilize the treasure to bring joy and happiness to their lives, they are the most unfortunate beings in this whole universe. Arrival of the Buddha happened 3 months earlier than Esala full moon day, that is the Vesak full moon day. That is the arrival of the greatest treasure of the whole universe. That is called Ratana, Buddha Ratana. Before the Buddha was born into the world, the light was not there, visibility was not there, eyes were not open, and they were in total darkness. But for the first time, the treasure of Buddha arrived into the world on Vesak full moon day. And ordinary people like us, especially if they were not exposed to the teachings of the Buddha, they have no idea the value of the treasure of Buddha for those beings, human or non-human. And 3 months later, on Esala full moon day, treasure of Dhamma was revealed to the world. And the treasure of Sangha was arrived in the world. Sangha is a person or beings, a group of beings who were exposed to the treasure of Dhamma, and they themselves became the wealthiest in the universe. Anya Kondanya, the great Arahant, was the first person who became enlightened and achieved the treasure and brought the treasure of Sangha to the world on this full moon day. There are 3 treasures: Buddha Ratana, Dhamma Ratana, Sangha Ratana. Ratna is the treasure. When you have treasure, you are not poor anymore. You can use the treasure to your favor and make yourself happy and joyful, and your life become enjoyable. When you have the treasure, wealth. When you are poor, you are physically starving and mentally starving. So people who are not really exposed to the Buddha, Dhamma and the Sangha have no idea of the value and benefit that we receive as beings. Human beings are so fortunate to be alive in a time where these treasures are available in the world. These treasures take them out of the darkness and bring them all the enjoyable things in the world that are really enjoyable. Peace of mind, clarity of seeing things, and being able to be harmonious with oneself and the world are the ultimate treasures that we can have. We may have a lot of wealth, like gold and jewelry and other things that can make your life easier and better. But none of those gold and jewels and silver and all those things is totally valueless in front of the Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha. Buddha is the person who has gone through millions of lifetime looking for this treasure of Dhamma. And this person ultimately, after many lives of struggling to find out the Dharma that make people, beings rich and wealthier, and after completely revealing, being able to find that treasure of Dhamma, Buddha became the most supreme being of the whole universe, wealthiest in all whole universe, including Devas and Brahmas and all other superior beings, nothing to talk about inferior beings like hell beings and hungry ghosts and animals and humans. So we should be feeling so fortunate to find out the treasure, at least the feel the value of the treasure, these three treasures, to make ourselves happy, peaceful, and joyful. And arrival of the Buddha is a guarantee that arrival of the Dhamma would happen, and arrival of the Sangha to this universe would take place. And most important part of this understanding is that as human beings, we are the one who is the number one beneficiary of all these treasures. But we know out of millions and millions of beings in the world, not only humans, but all other beings, only few of us are able to gain the benefit from these treasures. Some of those people have never heard of the Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha. And they have no idea, even if they have heard the Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha, if they never get to taste the treasures of Buddha, treasures of Dhamma, treasure of Sangha, they also have no idea. In other words, there are millions of human beings in the present time, from the day that Buddha became enlightened, even until today, until the knowledge of Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha disappear from earth, there are many, many human beings who has no chance, no opportunity to receive the benefit of these three treasures. And today we should be very grateful as people who had heard of the Buddha, heard of the Dhamma, heard of the Sangha. But if we have the opportunity to learn the value of the Buddha Ratana, Dhamma Ratana, Sangha Ratana, they are the most fortunate human beings in the present time. And we are some of them. We are few of them. But the point is, how much of our time and energy is used to dig out these treasures that are available for us. Only few of us. We are sitting on a gold mine, but we have no idea that we are sitting on a gold mine. Only few of us dig the ground, and find the treasure and make ourselves richer and richer. So today, Esala full moon day, about 2600 years ago, treasure of Dhamma revealed to the world, and only those fortunate ones were exposed to this amazing treasure. Sangha is the people who owns the treasure, who become owners of the treasure. And today, we call ourselves, like in the Western world, we call ourselves Sangha, people like you and me, because we have at least heard the teachings of the Buddha and try to dig it out and make use of it. Only few of us. But we are not yet the owners of the Dhamma, the treasure of Dhamma. Only the enlightened ones who follow the Dhamma, who dig it out and use it. Sotapanna, Sakadagamin, and Anagamin, and Arhat. Those are the ones who really gain the benefit of these wonderful treasures. These are the ultimate treasures of the universe. Once we are exposed to this ultimate treasure, we become the ultimately wealthiest. Until then, we are not rich. We are not wealthy. So, today is a day that all of us should get together and start paying attention to what we have, what we can have, to make our lives easier, better, and happier and prosperous. How do you dig the Dharma? By learning and practicing, we become owners of the Dhamma. Just like those enlightened beings, all of us, if we continue to dig the Dharma for ourselves, we also can be ultimately wealthy. How do you know that you become wealthy? When you look at the world, you can see the people who are experiencing all kinds of difficulties and poverty, experience hunger and thirst by not having wealth or not being wealthy. And by looking at ourselves who are much wealthier than all other beings who have not received the wealth, not rich, we can be very happy about ourselves for being able to expose the Dharma. Even a small amount of goal that you have make you a richer person, because that goal can be used for your benefit. Dharma is always, even if you know a little bit of Dharma, you can use it for your benefit, and your poverty be minimized according to how much Dharma you have. So we should be so grateful for being able to expose to the Dharma. And we should be so grateful to the Buddha for making that treasure available for us. And also, Buddha gave us all the tools and techniques of digging the Dharma and receiving the treasure for ourselves and make ourselves richer and happier and more peaceful. So I go to the Buddha, I go to the Dhamma, I go to the Sangha for guidance. Buddhang Saranang Gacchami. I go to the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha to improve our skills, our abilities, to find and dig out more and more treasure and make ourselves richer. Because this is the only place in the whole universe, including Devas and Brahmas and all other planetary systems, where beings, only those who are exposed to the Buddha Dhamma Sangha, out of all these billions of beings, those who are exposed to the Dhamma are the most fortunate. And that is us. But that does not mean that we are able to gain the full benefit of this wealth until you find the treasure by digging and by searching and by owning that treasure. So this is so amazing thing that has happened to us when the revelation of these treasures are benefiting only few of us. Now, how do you know? How do we know that Buddha is a treasure, Dhamma is the treasure, Sangha is the treasure? Once we own these three treasures, we become wealthier and we become happier, we become joyful, we become rich and richer. How do we know? only by finding of this wealth that is shown by the Buddha to all of us. We use those guidance. Buddha always guides us to where the treasure is. And until then, we are in poverty. So our job now, as very fortunate people who are able to know the existence of these treasures, Buddha Dhamma Sangha, to know the existence of these treasures and try to put our effort to own that treasure. Meaning, to make those treasures a part of us. That is what we call following the Dhamma. More you follow the Dhamma, more you see the benefit of being rich with Dhamma. So, our duty as very fortunate few people in the world is to diligently dig the treasure and make it available for ourselves and make it available for our loved ones and make it available for all other beings, all other, at least people. We may not be able to share the knowledge with Devas and Brahmas, even though they are partial beneficiaries of the Dhamma because they have come to visit the Buddha, lot of them, but not all of them. The affinity was not there for all the Devas and all the Brahmas to gain the ultimate benefit of the treasure of Buddha, treasure of Dhamma, treasure of Sangha. So our duty as being, as men and women who are exposed to Dharma for some extent, work harder and put more effort to make ourselves beneficiaries, true beneficiaries of the Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha. Now, when you hear this is not religion, another religion. We are not talking about another religion. Religion is a belief. But Dhamma is something that you make a part of yourself. Dhamma is something that helps you to own the Dhamma. That is the ultimate wisdom. The method of generating ultimate wisdom is the Dhamma. The wisdom is the treasure. That wisdom will come to you together with compassion. Believing in some teaching by some philosophical tradition, religious tradition, is totally different from owning Dhamma. Become an owner, a heir of Dhamma. Is different. So as Buddhists, we are not holding on to any dogma or view that is given to us by our parents or grandparents or some other people. So we believe in it and we think we found something valuable, and that is nothing compared to learning the Dhamma, because once you believe in something, it's not something that you have or something that you own, something that you know for sure. But the Dhamma is not like that. Dhamma is something that you find through your own effort. And every little Dhamma you find, according to that much of Dharma you have, you become wealthier. If you are wealthy, even in the regular sense, you can buy a house, you can buy a vehicle, you can buy food and other things. If you are wealthy, and make yourself happy and joyful. But this material wealth is nothing compared to the spiritual wealth that we are talking about. Spiritual wealth is something that never temporarily make you happy. Spiritual wealth is not something that can be lost and taken away by some other person. All the other wealth is subject to destruction. Power is wealth. We know some leaders of the countries who has so much power and lose their power and become totally helpless once they are so much powerful. But in a matter of hours, these powerful leaders with so much wealth become instantly poor and helpless. Even last few days, we have seen things like that. If you look at the history of the world, you have seen it. But if you have the spiritual wealth, you are indestructible. Especially if you have the ultimate spiritual wealth, you are unshakable by any force or any power that come against you. You are indestructible. Your wealth cannot be taken away from you. Your peace of mind, your happiness, your understanding of life, your understanding of the world, your understanding of the death, your understanding of the samsara. This is wisdom. Cannot be taken away if you really see it for yourself, if you really have it for yourself. That is why Esala full moon day is an important day for all of us. Because Esala full moon day is the day that we found the world, people in the world came to know about this ultimate treasure that cannot be taken away by anyone. Now, we should hear Dhamma more and more. We can learn Dhamma more and more when it is available still. Buddha lived 2600 years ago. Now we are here on the 20th century. But to be grateful to our ancestors, Buddha's teaching has been handed down from generation to generation up till now and up until now. And we should be so grateful for being able to be a human being at a time when the Dhamma is still available. Why? Human being? Human being is the main group of beings in this whole universe who are capable of getting the full benefit of Dhamma. Brahmas, mind is so calm and peaceful, they have no interest in learning other things other than enjoying their peace of mind. They miss out the digging of Dhamma. Devas are indulging in excitement, sensual pleasures, and they have no opportunity to pay attention to something like Dhamma. Because to understand Dhamma, to dig the Dhamma, you have to have a different mindset. We have that mindset as human beings. That is why the combination of the Dhamma is available in the world, and we happen to be human beings at a time where Dharma is still available, and we are only few people out of all other beings who can be the beneficiaries of the Dhamma. And when we understand the combination of Dhamma and being able to be a human being, that's you and me, that combination is an amazing combination, and we should get the best out of being a human being in a time where Dharma is still available. Dhamma is the method of digging the well, mining the well. As we said earlier, we are sitting on a gold mine, and if you have no interest in digging and mining and getting the gold out and make it our treasure, make it for the benefit of our happiness and peace, that is unfortunate thing to happen. So therefore, we should always put our effort to learn Dhamma and put it into the practice. Just now, I recited a small section of the first sermon that Buddha gave on the Esala full moon day. Katamachasa bhikkhave majjima patipada tathagatena abhisambuddha chakku karane jnana karane. Chakku means eye opening, knowledge opening, bring calm and peace to us. Upasamaya, abhinyaya, for deep knowledge. Sambodhaya, complete wisdom. Nibbanaya, ultimate peace of mind, unshakable peace of mind. Nibbana. What is it? Majjhima Patipada. All the tools that you need to dig the wealth out is in this Majjhima Patipada, middle way. By using the middle way, we become able to dig the Dhamma out and gain all this benefit. Eye opening, knowledge opening, bringing us peace and calmness, ultimate knowledge of what is happening around us and how to deal with them. Sambodhaya, ultimate wisdom. Nibbana, ultimate peace of mind. Those are the actual treasures that comes to us with the knowledge of Dhamma. And if the eye is not open of any being, we feel so sorry about that person because it's so poor, cannot see anything in the world, cannot enjoy anything in the world. But they don't have the knowledge to how to use the tools, how to use the things available for us. That is so sad, unfortunate, so poor. And they are constantly struggling mentally and physically, no calmness, constantly trying to find something but cannot find it, and constantly struggling to gain something, and you think that you gain it and it's gone. No peace. Okay. So, ayameva ariyo attangiko maggo. This Majjhima Patipada, the middle path, middle way, is not being Brahma, not being Deva with so much excitement, no peace. The other one have too much calmness and no effort is made to find something bigger than that. So there are 8 tools that we need to use, and people use it. People used it in the past. All these 8 tools. Samma Ditti, Samma Sankappo, Samma Vacha, Samma Kammanto, Samma Ajivo, Samma Vayamo, Samma Sati, Samma Samadhi. We can refine these tools as human beings. But hell beings, hungry ghosts, they have no focus. They have no ability to cultivate, improve the tool of Sammaditthi, wholesome way of looking at things. They cannot do it. Hell beings, they have no Sammaditthi, they're constantly suffering. Hungry ghost, constantly looking for food. Animals, no ability to think clearly. Like us, like human beings. Their ability to see what is right and wrong, what is best for you, even they understand, they may not be able to equip these tools as animals. Sammaditthi, refining our ability to see, look at things from the wholesome way, and refined wholesome thinking, Samma Sankappa, being able to use healthy language, very important part. We can do it. Animals cannot do it. Animals don't even have the language. Samma Kammanta, avoiding the actions that are wrong. So if you are digging a mine and if you do the wrong digging, the ground might collapse on top of you and you die. But when you are digging, you have to know what is the perfect way to dig it. Samma Kammanta, right action. Samma Ajiva, right livelihood. There are wrong livelihood, right livelihood. Livelihood is how do you make your living. So if you make your living by stealing, you get into loss of your wealth. If you are very careful about how do you make your living, that make you safe until you find the treasure, ultimate treasure. Samma Vayama, you have to put the effort. When you are digging, when you are mining for Dhamma, you have to Work hard. Don't be lazy. Not to give up. You put your effort and energy for the ultimate benefit, to gain the ultimate benefit. Right mindfulness, you have to always be careful about your mental activities. This one of the very powerful tool is called Samma Sati, Samma Samadhi, right? Calmness and focus. If you don't have the focus, you cannot continue. You have to have the focus and don't lose the ultimate goal that you are trying to achieve. So you have to have ultimate focus. And you lose the focus and you put your effort to bring it back. Because it is easier for anyone not to have focus. But being easy, living easy life does not make you a wealthier person. Put the found out. Okay, you have to put the effort. You have to put the focus. And you ultimately receive the highest benefit of using these tools to mine the wealth and dig it out and make it part of yourself. All those enlightened ones have made the wealth of wisdom part of their lives. That comes with compassion, being a nice person, kind person, gentle person. If you are not kind and gentle and considerate, it's easier, very easy, for you to lose what you think is yours because you are creating enemies by not having compassion. If you are cruel, others may be cruel to you. You lose your peace. You lose your wealth. And Dhamma is something that you have to see for yourself, and to get to know all these tools, these 8 tools, you have to use them for yourself, and without using them, you don't get to know these tools. And once you know the tools, once you know how to use these tools, Samma Ditti, Samma Sankappa, Samma Vacha, Samma Kammant, Samma Ajiva, Samma Vayama. All these tools are equally important in finding this wealth of visibility, clear visibility, eye, wealth of knowledge, wealth of wisdom, wealth of peace of mind, wealth of clarity of seeing things, ultimate peace of mind, Nibbana, Sambodhaya, Nibbanaya. So you don't lose these things because somebody wants to attack you and take it away, your peace of mind, when you have no compassion, when you have no caring for other beings, because you are creating enemies. You don't need to create enemies among your friends, among your people, in your community. If you have wisdom, compassion comes with it. If you have compassion, that means you are a wiser person already. And that means you are the owner of highest wealth. But until we completely refine these tools and use it fully, we never become ultimately wealthy. But every step of the way that we become wealthier and wealthier and wealthier. And finally, one day you become an enlightened being. That means you own the whole treasure, and you become able to use that treasure to your benefit and your happiness and your joy. And that is the knowledge of Dhamma. Knowledge of Dhamma, ultimate knowledge of Dhamma, make yourself part of Sangha. Sangha, we look at the Sangha constantly during the digging, because those people have already done it, and we always look for them. How did they do it at this time? How did they do this, use this tool at this time? So Sangha is a great support for our journey of finding the wealth. So today's Dhamma talk is slightly different, but this is something for you to think clearly, together with searching for Dhamma, using the Dhamma, not just searching. Use a little Dhamma that you have, little tools you have, and make those tools more and more refined, because it's a personal tool. Not that something can give it to you. You cannot. You create your own tool, and then you dig your own wealth, and you become rich for yourself, and that may be benefiting people around you, but you are the ultimate beneficiary of the wealth. So this is different Dhamma talk from other days, but please think about all the different points that I made in this short time, and that will help you and encourage you to be the owner of the Dhamma, owner of the wealth. So today is a good day for us to think about the arising of Dhamma in the world, that make all of us wealthier people, richer people, happier people, joyful people, people who are not starving, people who are not having enough for themselves to enjoy their lives to the fullest. All enlightened beings enjoy their lives to the fullest, and that is our goal. And don't give up, and keep learning and keep practicing. Learning and practicing. Practicing means putting into action, putting what you learn into action. That is practicing. Today's Dhamma talk time is over, and we take a short break after this and have a short meditation in few minutes. And until then, by listening to the Dhamma talk, you have gained some wisdom or some interest in learning and practicing more Dhamma. If that happens, it's a great benefit for you, and that is a kusala. And kusala is always something that generates merit for you. Merit is the positive energy. Encouraging words always bring you positive energy, and by generating positive energy, you are making yourself happy and peaceful. Let us think of all our loved ones who are no longer with us, and also share this positive energy with them, thinking, may they also be happy and joyful like I am after listening to the Dhamma talk. With all these things in your mind, let us recite the Gatha, Idam me ñāti nang hotu. Idam me ñāti nang hotu, sukhita huntu ñātayo. Idam me ñāti nang hotu, sukhita huntu ñātayo. Idam me ñāti nang hotu, sukhita huntu ñātayo. Let us share the merit with all the devas of listening to the Dhamma. Akasatta ca bummatta deva naga mahiddhika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkantu loka sasanang. Akasatta ca bummatta deva naga mahiddhika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkantu desanang. Akasatta ca bummatta deva naga mahiddhika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkantu tvang sada. May you all be happy and well. Wish you perfect health and a lot of good luck for yourself. And thank you. We will start the meditation in few minutes, and now we disconnect the streaming, and in few minutes we start again. Thank you very much. Maybe take a few minutes break now.